So
So good. That shit probably that shit probably hot too. That light.
nah, just a regular little lamp light, but it'd be
Okay.
mad bright because I don't want after we finish recording look dark. So let's start
Yeah, I know.
figuring
That was
this out.
wrong. Make sure it's light
See,
enough for you.
okay, well, I think we on live now, live in effect with the great Eric Barkley. Let me get one of my little party horns. Look, I gotta figure this out. Look.
Sound effects. That's
Yeah,
what I'm talking about.
yeah, with
That's
my
some good
man E
sound effects.
Bar. Hold
Yes,
on. Let
sir.
me put my little joint. Yeah, so for all those who don't know, my man Eric Barkley, childhood friend, grew up together in the neighborhood. I'm from Fort Greene. E Bark is from Farragut, is very, very close. We came together at the Boys and Girls Club very young. E Barkley was a standout guard from a very young age. I don't know even know if you've seen a little interview I did with Coach June Francis a couple weeks ago.
And I chatted up. I didn't get to see it yet, but he was telling me about it.
Yeah, and I ain't even had this
Yeah.
camera. The footage ain't even come out as good as it needed to be, but nice little interview or what have you. But E Box standout guard since we was young. I always remember I see you on a fast break one time, and I think you did something would be simple nowadays, but you drove and you did a 360 and you laid it up. But we was young. You was like 9 or something. I was like, oh, that's
Yeah,
crazy. Then you just went on from
that was
there
old
to
back then.
definitely. Hell yeah, I remember seeing that and remember thinking like, yo, son is different. And then you went on to go to Christ the King, then what I mean, St. John's, be a McDonald's All American, and the rest is history. So you paved the way before guys like myself, before guys like Omar Cook. So we definitely had at least somebody to see that was close to us, came up that was around us to do it before us. So that in itself, people don't like to give people their homage or whatever. But that was big because I knew if you could do it, seeing Shamik Cook, get do his thing, and all you guys before us, that inspired us. So just giving
Indeed.
the people some history about Ebach and what you did. But tell us a little bit about what you got going on, E. What you got? I see you doing your thing with the e-barking out loud and St. John's and things like that. Tell everybody know what you got going on.
For sure, man. I appreciate everything, man, for having me on your on your platform, man. I appreciate it.
Oh, no doubt.
But I'm just trying to get, trying to evolve, man, get myself better, make myself better, just to impress my son, really. You know what I mean? So, I went back to school this summer. I took some classes over the summer at St. John's. Try to pursue my degree. Um,
Okay.
Started at LLC. 90 EBARC 94 feet. If people don't know,
Mm,
94 feet is the size of a basketball court. And I also named it like a little clamp squad after it. So because I love to play
mm,
defense. And that's what I was
mm,
taught to play defense. So I named my company 94 feet E Bark 94 feet clamp squad. So
mm.
basically, just training, training kids and just teaching them defense first. You know what I mean? Before I really get into the offense. Because what I learned is if you could shut down a player, if you can shut your opponent down, then you actually can control a game. Because offense is going to be there. So I kind of work on kids with their defense and their footwork first. You know, something different. Something to bring to the table different. I know most trainers like to do offense.
Definitely. It's always a
How
and
can
it's
I
always
separate
a
myself
spot for you on everybody's team if you play D.
from? Indeed, man.
My bad, bro. We
Um,
got like as a little delay. I ain't even mean to cut you off. You was in your grind. My bad. I was just saying there's always a spot on the team for somebody that played D.
Indeed, man. 'Cause, that's what get the rest of the team going. You know what I mean? Like, like I play with guys like Ron Artest, a Meta World Peace now, what the world may know him as. Lamar Odom. And those guys, they really didn't take defense seriously as kids. So when they saw me, set the tone, that kind of made them want to step their defensive games up. And Ron became a defensive NBA Player of the Year one year, and he gave me a shout out. Talking about like what he say? Like I taught him how to play D. I couldn't believe he said
It's
that. You know what I
crazy.
mean?
Wow. Yeah.
It goes a long way, and that's what I'm here teaching now. I'm also doing like after school programs with Team First. One of my college teammates, Tyrone Grant, he brought me into it, and basically that's just giving back to the kids, man.
Dope, dope. Long time waited, and we need more people like yourself in a position to give back to these kids because we've been through it. You've been everywhere they aspiring to be. So what better person to have tell them that? I'm in the school system now. I've been health and wellness coach for the last 5 years now, but even prior to that, I've been training kids. What I mean, in some type of social capacity, or dealing with people. As far as doing life insurance, basketball training, always involved with the community, even out here in Ohio. So I see the need for that, especially what I mean, in the school system because they don't have a lot of African American males that's around them and that's been there and that's telling them. So that's dope that you're doing that. I think it's going to be a
Right.
lot of success in that, especially with you coming from a defensive standpoint because that's something you and I have in common. I was known for playing D. That's how I got on the court my first year at Ohio State. It
Hey,
wasn't for my offense. You know what
hey,
I'm saying?
you guys had offense galore, so I know you had to separate yourself to get on that court. You played with the likes of Mike Red and Scoonie Penn, man. Like that's heavy offense right there. You know what I mean? So you got to
Right.
separate yourself, learn how to separate, and if you want to get playing time on that court, what I mean. You got to learn where you could fit in at, and that's what I'm here to try to teach kids. You know what I mean? They ain't all about offense.
Hmm. Definitely. And what would you say about the Boys and Girls Club and your upbringing there? Because nowadays kids are fascinated with their phone. You know what I'm saying? I always tell people if I was a teenager at this day and age with all this technology, I'll be a little hung up too with all these different games. You can holler with your man while you playing the game. That's very addictive. On top of being able to watch videos all day, you could watch stuff like so. I understand how that could be influential, but how did the boys club help you be distracted from what I mean being outside or having some type of device that was holding you down like that?
Great question, man. Like, back in the days, we didn't really have like our devices. They really have like, as a kid, we didn't have our devices that went internet online to where we could play against, where we could play with our friends online. We didn't have that. The most one we had, well, I had coming up was blowing in a fan, making different noises. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
So, the boys club kind of helped me because that's where I got to, meet the likes of yourself, other friends, Booger, Booger Ed Smith, person who I looked up to playing coming up, Sunshine, just a bunch of people that came up through the boys club before me. And they just
Mhm.
kind of paved the way, what I mean? And that's what the boys club was there for, that helped me. A guy like, Coach Joe Francis, who you had on here early, on an earlier episode, that guy, that guy, I'm gonna tell you quick, just a quick story with him. When I first walked into the boys club, he asked me what did I wanted to be. I told him I wanted to play in the NBA, right? I'm about 7 years old. Um, he told me to grab a ball, right, and dribble with my left hand around the court. And this was like at like 3 o'clock. You know what I mean? He totally forgot about me to where I kept dribbling, and it was like 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and I still was going around the court with my left hand, and that's what made him take like a liking to me.
You know what's crazy? He told me that story, and I was like, "Wow, that is dope." And we all know you was the left hand bandit, son.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm a righty, you know. He just installed that left in me like early, man, to where it became natural.
And you know what's crazy? I don't even think I told this to him when he was on here, but he told me if I wanted to get better with my left hand, that I should dribble with my left hand to school every day. And I did it. And I was
That's
walking out this time I was staying with my grandma. I was dribbling from the co-ops to 287. So that's a nice, half a
yep,
mile walk. You know what I mean? So I'm dribbling through the projects with the left, and next you know, 2 weeks. That's it. 2 weeks later is on the
yep,
string, and now it's my
yep,
left is way better than my right. You know what I'm saying?
yep. He kind of gave us the blueprint early, you know. But you
That's
know,
why
training.
I can't stand when I see people that kids that can't go left. I'm like, yo, just a lot of these kids be having garages and houses and stuff. I'm like, yo, just dribble with your left hand for 15 minutes, throw in your iPod, your
Right,
music, and just keep doing
right,
it. Just keep doing it. It only
right,
it don't take that long.
right,
About 2 3 weeks of consistency.
right. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. Like most kids don't really like it. We didn't really have trainers back then. You know what I mean? How we got better was just playing against each other all day, every day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now that it's trainers, like the training that's involved, of this training right now. But back in the days, how we got better, man, it was just like 5 on 5. Or you went to the
Hmm.
basketball court on your own and just played and just imagine like you was somebody else
Right.
and just did things on your own.
Right. And a lot of times too, I didn't know how important it was to play up. I was playing against my Uncle Pop and his homeboy. And
Yeah,
when I look back at
yeah,
it, I'm
yes,
14, 15. These dudes is 24. You know what I'm saying? But I'm big. I'm
yes,
6 feet. I'm considered a big man around the way. You know how that is. So so
yep,
they fouling me. I'm
yep,
going in, they hit me hard. And I tell parents like, yo, let your kids play up with older people. This way they get used to the
yep,
physicality, and it's gonna have them get better. And we
yep.
didn't even know what we was doing by doing that.
Not at all, man. Like I said, June gave us the blueprint, man. Like your Uncle Pop, man. I grew up playing it, playing with them as well. Like we used to have a thing in a boys' club. I'm sure you remember, so where you had to sit on the bleachers to get next.
Yeah,
Remember that?
you
Like when
know
we used
that.
to play 5 on 5, you had to sit on the bleachers to get next. So
Mhm.
Joe France used to keep me around and let me hang out with the big dudes. Now I used to run straight to that bleachers first so I can get the next game to pick my own team because I knew I wasn't getting picked. So I ran straight to them bleachers, man, to sit down and just wait my turn, man.
Yeah, and then but then you sitting there, Coach Francis also say be a sponge. You watching all these old heads, you seeing they little the moves that they doing. Like
Yep,
Marco Pop had the only move he had was the hezzy that I stole. I
yep,
stole that. I'm stole that one from him. I got a little something
yep,
from Tone Baker. I got something from Bugs. I know what I'm
yep,
saying. You grabbing a little
yep,
bit from all of them. And then, like you said, you go into the park, you imagining doing it, you playing around
yep,
versus having a trainer there and somebody doing, I mean, you going over that. So it's a combination of having that experience of playing and getting that physicality and having that imagination and working on it, just playing around with it, figuring it out.
absolutely, man. And basketball is fun, man. You got to remember it's a game. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
and some people are so much competitive, like how we was, man. We were so competitive, like we did. Some of us didn't like each other. That's how competitive we was. You know what I mean? Even though we all grew up together, but when we was on that court, we ain't like each other. You know what I mean? Off the
Mm-hmm.
court, we
Yeah.
friends, no matter what. But on that court, man,
Mm-hmm.
we enemies, man. That's just the competitive nature we grew up having, bro.
People don't understand. Like I be telling some of the people out here, coworkers, colleagues, and friends and stuff like that out here. Some of the people that was in our high school class that we played it on a high school level. I mentioned you, Lamar Odom, Ron Artest, myself, Omar Cook, Reggie Jesse. all of these different dudes, like people like all these D1 high D1 people that came out the
Yes.
city, and we was all like 2 3 years, 1 2 3 years apart. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Playing against each other, like we had some dogs that was, you know what I mean? You look back at that time, and it was special in New York.
Indeed, man. Woo, man, the talent in New York ain't what it used to be, bro. I can't put my finger on it, but I'm definitely trying to bring that back, man, for sure.
hmm Let me ask you this:
You know,
since you said that, is New York still the mecca for basketball or for guards?
absolutely, absolutely. It's just that our guards leave New York now, and they go to a prep school in another state, so the other state get the
Mm,
they they get more of the recognition of the guard now, you know, because
mm,
don't finish here in New York anymore. A lot of them go out to prep school and stuff now. So, a lot of these other states kind of get that recognition now. But, we gotta, I'm here now. I'm trying to get these kids to stay home. Because the schools here are good, man. It's just we got to get these coaches on the same track. You know what I mean?
that
All
was
these
gonna be
coaches
my
at
next question. Like, why they leaving? Like, because I know you got the Christ the King, the Bishop Locklands, the all of the good schools are still there. So why would these, the talent be leaving the city?
see we like at Bishop Lockman, where you went to school, you had Bob Lucky as a great coach, who coached Sherwin Anderson, uh, Sheldon Jefferson. You know, he had talent. You know what I mean? He had talent there. Christ the
hmm
King. Um, Bob Oliva. He had Derek Phelps, Khalid Reeves. So
hmm
those the coaches that we had coming up had talent. So like,
Right.
and everybody stayed home. So like it was a big difference. Like the coaches that we now, like the coaches nowadays, like the new era coaches, I don't think they know how to fit into like how to how to how to make these kids better. That's why we need
Mm,
all our old players. You know what I mean? All our old players that really know the game to come back to New York and kind of put these kids under the wing.
right. Right. Absolutely. And it's such a
Like,
tough
like
system.
I have nothing against Joe Abatello at Christ the King. He played with me at Christ the King. I have nothing against him, but he don't know what it takes to make a kid better because he never played at those levels. You understand?
Right. Right.
And that's what
Absolutely.
it takes. You know?
And it's a lot going on. There's a lot of that going on. I don't know about in New York, but when it comes to coaching position, those to open up first to the teachers in the building who may want those. As far as the position, then it opens up to outside of the school type of deal. So a lot of time, it really does the kid a disservice when you got someone in there who's doing it as a kind of a hobby or somebody they really not passionate for, and it's just another check, so to speak. Not
Right.
saying that's the case, all the time, but a lot of times it is.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. I think, you know, like I said, we just need more of the old school players that we came up with in the '90s to come back and kind of really show the way because we had some talent
hmm
here in New York, man. Definitely had some
hmm
talent.
That's a fact. So when we gonna get the first episode of our E Barking Out Loud podcast? You got to get on that and get your thing going, even if you just doing it how you doing it right now from your camera. Just
Right.
start throwing it up.
No,
November.
November. Thanks to the likes of you. What I mean, good friend of mine showed me different platforms that I can put this. That I can air my podcast out on. So I'm just learning and I'm getting with
Mhm.
it now. So I'm learning the different avenues to go on and put my podcast on. So no, look for it in
Yeah.
November.
Okay, that's a bet. Yeah, cause I'm still learning, bro. And for one thing, for me, I like to get my message off just like you like to get your message off. You did a lot when it comes to this game.
Yes,
You was telling me you see a lot of people, other friends of yours, got their podcast and they talk and they talk. And I'm pretty sure you got a lot of stories and stuff that you need
yes, I
to
do,
to
bro.
get out
Yes, I
there
got a lot
and
to get off my chest. Yes, I
Right, and
do.
people need to hear that. You know, people need to hear that. They want to hear that, and I don't care how many people is viewing it. Don't get discouraged by that because for me, this is just a platform to throw up videos and to talk, and you always got something to go back and look at. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Without taking up stories in your phone.
Absolutely, man. You know, it's more of like a message for kids to learn from. You know, about by me telling my stories. You know, what I mean, like how I made it to the McDonald's All American game. Uh, playing against
Hmm.
Dirk Nowitzki before the NBA really knew who he was, before the world really knew who he was.
Hmm.
So I a lot of stories. A lot.
I mean, I know, and you gotta get all those laid out and just fire away. You know what I mean? If it's just 5 minute joints each, and then come back and
Yeah,
fire another one away. You know what I'm saying?
indeed, indeed, and hopefully, I could reach out to the, guys like Dirk Nowitzki, and have them on the show too. Because we became
Yeah.
friends over the years against each other, and and others as well. So even playing in
Yeah.
Portland, making it to the NBA, playing the guys with like Steve Kerr and Scottie Pippen, Sean Kemp. Those are guys who I
Hmm.
had on my wall as kids growing up, who I wanted to be. You know what I mean? Who I looked up to. And now I'm
Right.
playing
Right.
with those guys. It was like a dream, man. It felt like a dream.
Right. Right. So I don't know how pressed you are for time. I don't want to hold you too long, but let me ask you this: what would the 45 plus year old Eric Barkley tell the 20-year-old Eric Barkley?
It's a great question. Always remain humble, man, and teach as much as you could. Give back as much as you could. You know what I mean? Because
Hmm.
you and take the time to hear in everybody out because you never know where your blessings come from.
Mm, that's a fact. That's a fact. Well, good stuff, my brother. Like I said, I ain't want to hold you too much. We could go on here
Yeah,
for a
we
whole
could,
hour,
bro.
2 hours. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed.
This is practice for you. This is practice for me. You know what I'm saying? Just
Yes,
getting it
sir.
out there. And, you know what I'm saying? And we do another one once E Barking Loud come on. Bring me back up
Oh
on your
yeah,
joint,
definitely gonna
and we
reverse it.
do another one.
Def- definitely gonna reverse it because we going. I'm gonna get in. I'm gonna get in on you on how you beat me in Ohio State in that Elite Eight, bro. I'm still upset at that. You know what I mean?
We
I'm
was
still,
killing
you know,
Con
I
Grant.
was
We was killing Con Grant.
yeah, I was beating you when you was at Lockland and I was at Christ the King, but you got me on it. You got me in college, man. You got me at
Uh
that
huh.
Elite Eight. You know what I
Uh
mean?
huh.
I was like, man,
Classic.
but it's
Classic.
all love, man.
Yeah.
I was happy to lose to you than the likes of a Steve Francis. You know what I mean? At Maryland. You know what I mean? At
Right.
least I could
Right.
say a child. You know what I mean? For real, man. Word.
Yeah. 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 That's what's up. Well, I appreciate it, brother. I appreciate your time.
For sure.
Definitely gonna do
Any
more of this. This is dope. You know what I'm saying? Definitely inspire the youth. Definitely got stories for days and that they can learn from. You know what I mean? Nobody's trying to change them. We're just trying to tell you, we've been down the path that you're trying to go when it comes to, especially when it comes to basketball and this thing that you're trying to do in that avenue. So
yes,
salute to you,
yes,
my
sir.
guy. I don't know if you have any
Word.
other questions or whatever, but I don't want to hold you up too long.
Oh, we good, bro. Anytime. Anytime you need me to come on, man. We always can sit and chat, bro.
All right, that's what's up. I appreciate you, bro. Much love as always.
Same here, bro. All right.
All right, come on.